Greetings, everyone, and a genuinely warm welcome to another edition of Marketing the Invisible. I'm Tom Polland, beaming out to you from the very sunny Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Joined today by Robbie Samuels. It's many happy returns, Robbie, because this is not your first time on the show.
It's a
Welcome,
pleasure to be
sir.
back.
Tell everyone where you're hanging out.
East Coast of the United States, outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania.
Philly, and it's April, and when we're recording this, how's the weather?
Ranging. We're not quite full springtime yet, but we're getting closer. It's some
Hovering.
days warmer, some days grab a jacket.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're also in exactly the same situation, but for the opposite reason.
Yeah.
We're just coming into fall down under here. Folks, enough of the geographical references and weather reports. Robbie's here because he does something that's really, really works well. He's also here because he's a caring human being, and any of your interactions with Robbie's website, his landing pages, this interview, it's just going to come across. You're just going to instinctively know that you're listening to someone who cares about you as an individual, a human being. So that's why Robbie's here. And the really core thing that he does that works so well is he helps you get reviews on Amazon for your book. Now, before the interview, I just want a heads up. Robbie talks to people who are thinking about writing a book, right to people through to people who have got a book, but it's just not doing that well. And his thing is all about not just publishing a book, but launching a book and getting those reviews and monetizing the book. So that's at the core of what he does. And the reason I want to labor the point here is that I've written a bunch of books, and some of them have been fortunate enough to be bestsellers. Some of them have been worst sellers. I haven't hit 1,000 like Robbie has with his books. But the point is this: that when you get a new client inquiry from someone who's read the book, they invariably buy services from you at a higher price point than someone who's come through some other medium. Secondly, they tend to be implementers because anyone who reads a book has got some stamina, they've got some staying power. And thirdly, they tend to be the type of clients that I enjoy working with more. So, and I don't know what it is about the book or the medium. I guess it's the fact that they have to be proactive and they have to shut down Facebook and turn Netflix off or something to focus on what you've written. But that process seems to filter out people. Um, Still some great people there, but it filters through the people that are just terrific to work with. And so that's why I think this is a really important subject. Title today is Don't Just Hit Publish, Launch Your Book. Robbie has a book launch strategy. Entrepreneurs work with him to build a revenue pipeline. And that starts with getting a bunch of great Amazon reviews. Robbie, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to ask you to start talking. Our 7 minute starts now. So, question number one is, who is your ideal client?
Well, I work with entrepreneurs who wrote a business book, or I should specify, they wrote a book to grow their business, whether it's a business book or not. It's helping them get more visibility as a coach, speaker, or consultant, and ultimately leads to new revenue.
Right, and it does that. It because it engages prospects that have the ability to read, uh, finish reading a book, or at least get partway through the book, and it also does that because it boosts your credibility as a published author. What's the problem you solve for them?
Well, most people publishing a book do just that. The deadline they're working towards is hitting publish, and they hope the right people will find their book. What
Right.
I help them do is launch strategically by getting reviews from their likely prospects and referral partners. I'm not selling them reviews from my list. I'm showing them how to get reviews from their own network. And it's those conversations that lead to new revenue and media opportunities. And that's why they wrote the book. They wrote a book to grow their business.
That's so smart. This is really smart. So this is OPN, other people's networks, which I'm always banging on about. I wish
Yes.
I'd thought of that when I'd written some of my books. So, what would you say are what's the question three is what's the typical experience of someone who maybe has launched or maybe is thinking he launches? What sort of symptoms are people experiencing who've written book and they sort of get a heads up with these symptoms? They go, yeah, didn't do that, didn't go as well as it could have. I really need to reach out to Robbie.
I mean, when you publish a book and you hear crickets, no sales, or sales are stalled after like the first 7. Reviews are slow to come in or don't come in at all. And you start wondering, was writing a book even worth it? A lot of us think of writing a book as a marathon, but a marathon runner gets to stop when they reach the finish line. This is actually a triathlon. And the first part is that swim. And then while you're soaking wet, you have to run over to the bike. So the first part is getting the book written. The second part is getting it published. And the third part, which is the actual marathon in a triathlon, that is where you're actually focusing on the launch and the marketing that comes after the book.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it, more like a triathlon where there are stages. And even then, arguably, there's no finish line, but at least you've got the initial. If you can do this initial launch, then you get a hell of a lot of momentum. You've got reviews, people are
Mhm.
looking at 4 and 5-star reviews, and they're buying your book for years to come. And one of my first book that I must have written on a marketing book probably 8 years ago, we still get leads off that. So there's a long tail, so to speak. Common mistakes. Question 4 is give us a couple of mistakes that people can avoid, that's gonna just save them time and money.
What I'm doing is focusing on the launch, which overlaps publishing, and it comes before paying for PR and marketing. Because most people who are focusing on selling their book do a quick fix PR push. So they're spending money to send people to the book sales page when the book sales page isn't converting. There's no reviews and there's no sales. Or they rely on mass emails or social media marketing to try to push out their book. And they're skipping over that personalized outreach to really lean into their existing network, because books don't launch themselves, right? There's these really important steps that have to happen, not just publishing the book and not just PR and marketing, but that launch sequence, because that's social proof on the book sales page. Those reviews stay there.
And I just wanna push the pause button on how important your strategy is, because things like social media marketing and press releases and public relations and that sort of stuff, the problem with that is you miss one absolutely vital principle, which makes a prospecting source work incredibly well. And that principle is reason. The reason why do people join this PR list? Why do they subscribe to this newsletter? Why are they on social media? If that reason is not aligned to the reason they might want to buy from you and buy your book in this case,
Mhm.
then it's going to be a flop. The strategy of going through partners, which Robbie can teach you about, the reason why people have joined the partners list, if you have the right partner, the reason they've joined that person's email list or their social network, whatever it is, should be very closely aligned to the reason they might want to buy your book. And that's what makes it a gold mine. So I just wanted
Mhm.
to underline that this strategy that Robbie is talking about, we'll give you a chance to find out more about this in a moment. This strategy is on point. It's going to save you flailing in your marketing and doing a lot of it and not getting much result, to getting much more
Mhm.
precise and laser focused. Let's go on to one top tip that you can give people. Question 5, a valuable free action people can make that's going to take them a step in the right direction. Not going to solve the whole book launch equation, but it
Right.
might just be one part of the jigsaw puzzle.
Well, start by building out a list of people, prospects, and referral partners. I wrote about this in my second book as well, Smallest Big Results, but basically coming up with a list of people that you think, based on who they are to you and what they care about and how they show up in the world, would be interested in your book or help you spread the word. Make a list of 100, 200 people, former
Wow,
clients, colleagues, connections. Really dig into your own network. And these are the people who are most likely to support your launch. But don't wait until the book exists. Don't wait till it's live. Start inviting them early and on a personal note. Uh, a personal message is going to work a lot better than a mass message.
fantastic. Thank you, sir. Where can people go to find out more?
Well, I offer a complimentary 30-minute book launch brainstorming session. And whether it's you're just starting to think about a book and you want to make sure it's strategically aligned with your business, or if you've got a book that you published and you're thinking, I wish it did better than it did, or somewhere in between, I would be happy to schedule a conversation with you, talk about a launch or a better relaunch. You can go to booklaunchbrainstorm.com to schedule that conversation with me.
I've been there. I had a look at it. It's superbly done. And once again, Robbie's ability to demonstrate care as well as strategic marketing expertise shines. So book launch at brainstorm.com. I don't get an affiliate fee off this. We're just sharing this because I think it's going to help people. Last question, 30 seconds left. What's the one question I should have asked you and didn't? Plus the answer, please.
Well, can a book succeed if it didn't go well the first time? And the answer is 100% yes. A lot of books are just published. And
Yeah,
you could still, 6 months later, a year later, if the book is evergreen, the content's still relevant. I absolutely have coached so many entrepreneurs through relaunches. You just need a better strategy, and I can help you support the follow through. My new book is called, oh, there you go.
that's all right. I used a lot of time in the middle. Let me just finish off by saying, folks, that
Sure.
Robbie's got 3 bestsellers, 3 out of 3. He's got hundreds of reviews on Amazon. Um, do yourself a favor, take a step in the right direction. Don't procrastinate on this. Take a step. Book launch brainstorm.com. It's going to help you. Uh, it's going to help you with your launch, and that will, if you do that, when you do that right, it can bring in new clients for you for many, many years to come. Robbie, thanks once again for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.